All right, so me and my girlfriend just took a road trip across America. We spent a whole month doing Route 66 all the way to Santa Monica, California. And I learned a few things along the way. I noticed a few things along the way that, even though the trip was amazing, even though it was exciting seeing all the different landscapes and different states and just how everything was in America, it also kind of bummed me out. And I don't want to be no pessimist here, because if anybody that knows me or anybody that knows me knows that I am the ultimate optimist. But also, beyond any of that, I think it is the most important to be a realist. So that's what I want to be in this video. And I just want to kind of talk a little bit about what I saw, what I experienced and stuff like that. Because to be honest, man, it truly made me feel sad for the current state of America in many ways. I truly do not believe that there is any hope in America. I truly don't think that, like Donald Trump says, make America great again. I really don't know in the state of America that we're in right now, if that is ever possible. I don't know if America will ever be the glory land that it once was. All the stories that our grandparents and our great grandparents tell us about, I don't know if we're ever going to get a chance to experience that again. And that saddens me to say. Like, it's truly deep in, like, okay, here's a little backstory. I used to be like a little hippie. I hated authority. I hated the government. I hated the cops. I hated America. I was that dude that was like, I'm gonna go somewhere better. Until I grew up one day, man. Until God came into my life and allowed me to see life for what it was. And I started to love America, man. I started to love the land in which we live in, because I realized what all was actually possible here. I realized that, like, I was in a privileged position in America to hate America. I was in a privileged position to walk around my life like a little hippie talking bad on it. All these other countries, man, they would die to be here. They do die to get here, man. They go on little rafts across the ocean, man. They're willing to do crazy stuff just at a chance to touch their feet down on American soil. And I learned to love it here. I realized what I took for granted for so long. And the saddest part about all of that is, I think I learned to appreciate it a little too late. Now, of course, deep down, I believe that we can restore America. I believe that America can be great once again. I believe those glory days are still within reach. But the reality is, the way that we're pulling God and faith and stuff like that, and morals and just truth in general, man, out of all public areas, out of school, out of education in general, news, media, all that stuff, social media, everything. And what I realized traveling across America, no matter if you were in the rich neighborhoods or you were in the poor neighborhoods, wherever it was, man, the majority of people just seemed to be unhappy. They just seemed to be depressed. The joy just wasn't there. And the only joy that was found is when it was like something that was superficial. It wasn't something that was found internally. Their resting places weren't of joy. And I know life is hard for everybody right now, but there's a difference between life being hard and having a conqueror type of mindset to where we can overcome these things, versus actually seeing it radiate off of the majority of people across America, man, where it's hopeless. They don't see a way out. They don't see an answer. They don't see a way to escape their struggles, their problems. They don't even see a reason to wake up in the morning and continue to live, and that's where the unhealthiness comes in. That's where the lack of going outside. And like, most importantly, man, I realize nothing in America anymore is based on the future. We get so excited off a new video game console or a new episode on Netflix or a new iPhone that comes out, but that's not what makes America move, man. We need to have the spirit of prosperity. And I'm not talking about the bad prosperity, the self-seeking prosperity, but the prosperity for all, for liberty and justice for all, man. That type of prosperity. And what I realize is that we truly are a fallen nation. And the majority of the place, man, when you're going shopping, this video is going to be all over the place because I'm passionate about this, man. I really care about this stuff, especially as a young man in this country. It's like, I'm at the age where I'm getting ready to start, thinking about marriage and having kids. So it really pains me to think about the future that my potential kids may grow up in, if they even have a future at all. And the thing that I realized the most is a lot of these countries, or a lot of these other states, man, like I'm in Pennsylvania. And I feel like, it's bad here. There's the rough area. Every state, every county, every city has its bad areas. But we don't have any bad areas to the point of needing almost the military outside of shopping centers, man. Some of these Walmarts that we were going to, some of these cities and grocery stores that we were going to, I'm not saying it was the military, but these security guards were dressed up and geared up as if they were the full-on military. You have like security vehicles parked at each door. They're standing in there with their hands in their bulletproof vests, and they have all the gear, everything, man, just to go into a grocery store. Does that sound like America to you? How far have we fallen that you have to worry about, safety? You have to worry about the store, the levels of theft that a store has to experience to feel the need to have armed security, like fully geared out in tactical gear, is scary, man, and it's sad. But also, even deeper than that, man, you can dig deeper. It's like, yeah, the crime is real, the theft is real, the lack of safety and security is real just to go grocery shopping with your family. But also, what is putting the people in a state of being to where they feel the need to have to go push out grocery stores? Yes, like carts full of stuff out of grocery stores and steal it, man. It's like, yeah, there's always going to be thieves. There's always people that just want to steal for the thrill of it, kill, steal, and destroy. That's Satan. There's always the people that want to do that just for the sake of doing it. It's an addiction. It's a thrill. Just like people that go on rides and stuff like that at the amusement park. It's a thrill for these people. And some people just want to make a quick buck. They're not happy with what they have. But also, a lot of these people are truly in positions where they don't know how they're going to eat. They don't know where they're going to sleep. They don't know when winter kicks in, when the sun goes down. Are they going to have a blanket? Are they going to have pillows? Are they going to have sleeping bags? Any of that stuff. So it's like, there's this combination of all of this stuff, man. And it made me realize that this is not the land that our parents and our grandparents told us about. This is not the glory days, man. We are not in the glory days anymore. And it's only getting worse. That's not me being a pessimist. That's me being a realist. And it's also me being an optimist because I understand that it is still salvageable, but only by the grace of God. Only by the majority, a big wave of people coming back to the faith, man, coming back to the truth. And not only coming back to the truth, but not being afraid to stand on the truth. Not being afraid to go out into their workplace, go out into their day-to-day lives and stand on what they know to be true. Stop being afraid to speak up, man. We have to be real again. Beyond all else, we have to become real again. These people in this government, these people that rule our lives every day, they do not care about us. And that's not some hippie conspiracy stuff. If y'all can't see it, how our government's handling just these hurricanes and stuff right now, man, the lack of aid, but we're helping all these other countries, the way that kids are being taught to hate America, they're being taught to hate their neighbor instead to love their neighbor. They're taught that, just eat all the junk food. America pushes the most unhealthy food ever, man. Our stuff's banned in other countries. And the countries that it does get into, it has to have a huge label slapped across being like, hey, this is like poison, basically. How are we the greatest nation in the world? In just a short few years, man, from our parents' generation to us, it has fallen so far. How has it fallen so far? And like, it's now where I'm having these conversations with my friends and I'm like, for the first time in my life, I don't even know if this future exists. I don't even know if there's an opportunity to work towards or work for. And that's a sad way to live, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not a race thing. It's not a class thing. It's none of that stuff, man. I saw the poor people depressed. I saw the rich people depressed. I saw the Native Americans depressed. I saw the black population depressed. I saw the white population depressed. I saw the Hispanic population depressed. Everybody is depressed. And everybody is being pushed to this idea that it is okay to not be okay. It's not okay to not be okay. Or it wouldn't be called not okay. We're better than this. We're greater than this. God has created us to be creators. We are supposed to be out in this country, out in the world in general. We are supposed to be the shining light, the example to the rest of the world, to the rest of the people in our own worlds, in our own lives and families, man. It just saddens me to know that what I've learned from traveling across America is that there isn't really any hope left in America. Unless we come back to God.